Peace and love, family. It's your girl, Sixthegoddis. And keep in mind, I'm a goddess and I'm sensitive about my shift. Hope y'all are doing well. I am doing amazing. I wanted to make this video because it seems like Becky is on a roll lately. And I'm the type of person, I'm big on being proactive and I'm big on prevention. And we have come to this crossroad where we're going to have to go ahead and just start having a conversation and just start accepting Becky for what and who she really is. We have a long history with Becky. Okay. We have a long history of Becky lying, manipulating, and having complete disregard for the lives of not only Black people, but specifically Black men in their quest for control and desirability. All right. If it's 2023 and you a Black man, you're still losing everything over Becky, I honestly don't know what to tell you at this point. Okay. We are really, it's so elementary to me at this place of like, oh, because Becky, deals with me, because Becky is physical with me, then that means that she appreciates me. That means that she's never, ever going to use her privilege over me against me. Okay. Now, women in general have somewhat of a privilege over men when it comes to certain situations because we're the weaker species and we're always going to be presumed to be the victim in our interactions. Like by now, we know that's a thing. So, women in general, that tends to be a risk that you take when dealing with women, just period, let alone a Becky. Okay. Now, if it's that good, okay, so where you're willing to ignore centuries of a consistent pattern in order to be accepted into some type of society because Becky is on your arm, then by all means do me. But I'm very big on men can do whatever they want to do. However, when the time comes for them to face their consequences of doing whatever they want to do, they need to be left alone as a man to handle the repercussions for whatever decisions that they make, period. That's the way I move. I don't police them. I don't try to control them. Y'all do what y'all want to do, but don't come waiting for everyone to help you take accountability when the decisions that you make come back to get you. That's also for you and only you to deal with. So we're going to go over this article about the recent situation with Jonathan Majors, and we're going to break down why whether he's innocent or guilty doesn't matter. Okay. So let me go ahead and pull this up. I know the words are a little bit small, but it's all good because I'm going to read it to you. Jonathan Majors was arrested Saturday morning, March 25th in Manhattan after a 911 call on suspicion of strangulation, ASSAULT, and harass. The victim claims the defendant did strike her about the face with an open hand, causing substantial pain and a laceration behind her ear. According to the Manhattan DA, the woman was transported to a local hospital with minor injuries to her head and neck, according to the NYPD. Now, when I first heard this story, the story read something to the effect of, she had red marks on her neck and red marks on her shoulder. And immediately I was like, it's a Becky. It's a non-melanated Becky. I mean, I knew that he dealt with Becky, but when they said red, that she was turning on red, I immediately knew that's Becky, because one thing Becky gonna do is be pink and red, okay? If nothing else. So we knew by then. We know, but we know this type of guy though. The woman was transported to a local hospital with minor injuries to her head and neck, according to NYPD. She was in stable condition as of Sunday morning, March 26th. That day, Majors was arraigned on several A and H charges Sunday. The Manhattan DA's office told CNN he is expected to appear in court on May 8th. Now, I want you to understand what just happened there. All that had to happen was Becky simply had to say he did it. And he was not. It's one thing to be arrested because normally arrest is part of procedure. But Being charged and arraigned is next level. At what point do we learn? See, had it been a sister, they probably would have told the sister, they probably would have took both of y'all down to the local jail. And you probably would not have been arraigned because she probably would have just been perceived as an angry Black woman and they wouldn't have cared. But once Becky, all Becky got to do is breathe in your direction wrong. And whatever Becky said it is what it's going to be against your Black behind. Majors denies the allegations of assault and maintains his innocence. The actor's representative told BuzzFeed News Majors is completely innocent and is probably the victim of an altercation with the woman he knows, says the lawyer. We are quickly gathering and presenting evidence to the DA with expectation that all charges will be dropped imminently. The statement continued, all the evidence proves that Majors is entirely innocent and did not aid her whatsoever. Unfortunately, this incident came about because the woman was having an emotional crisis for which she was taken to a hospital yesterday. NYPD is required to make an arrest in these situations, and this is the only reason he was arrested, but that's BS because he was also charged and he was arraigned. Majors, fire your lawyer. Whoever this lawyer is, she's terrible. She's absolutely terrible. Fire her. We expect charges to be dropped, this and that. The team has obtained 2 written statements from the woman recanting these allegations. Why does he always have this stupid kissy face? Like I dudes like this with this kissy face that date Becky's, I'm sorry, but I don't feel bad for them. I just don't. Like at this point, y'all are an entire like group. Like y'all, there's a kind, like y'all are a type, and I don't know. Like, I don't know. Dudes like this, you lame. I'm sorry. You just lame. And I don't know what to tell you. And none of this is a surprise. How many times has this got to happen? I'm exhausted. Days after the arrest, Major's lawyer shared alleged text messages to several outlets like Entertainment Tonight, which claimed to show a woman texting Majors as she was angry about the actor's charges. So I want you all to listen to these text messages and tell me if you think that this helps. These text messages that Major's lawyer has dropped. And I'm sorry, but I haven't seen the lawyer. I haven't looked her up, but I'd be willing to bet it's also a Becky lawyer. And it's giving very much a setup. It's giving the girlfriend, whoever she is, set him up. It's giving the lawyer. They don't set this like plug of a lawyer in to further mess him up, because what lawyer would do this? So the lawyer released these text messages of allegedly of the victim sending text to Jonathan Majors. Please let me know you're okay when you get this. The alleged text begins. They assured me that you won't be charged. They said they had to arrest you as protocol when they saw the injuries on me and they knew we had a fight. I'm so angry that they did. And I'm sorry you're in this position. We'll make sure nothing happens about this. I told them it was my fault for trying to grab your phone. I only just got out of hospital. Just call me when you're out. Oh my God. Cringe. The next alleged message simply reveals, I love you, before a lengthy third message. Anyway, I'm not going to read the rest of the text messages because it's going to just get too long if I do. Another statement was shared which denied Major's assault around, around 11 a.m. that Jonathan Majors called 911 out of concern for the woman's mental health. The police arrived with the paramedics as standard procedure and arrested Majors due to NYPD protocol. Anyway, I think by now we kind of understand the premise of what's going on. So now let me go ahead and explain to you why none of this matters. None of this matters whatsoever. It does not matter if he's guilty. It does not matter if he's innocent. It does not matter at all, because this is a typical story of what happens every single time. When unfortunately, all those palm-colored people that Jonathan Major clings to and thinks are his friends, guess what they did? The minute that he was arrested on these charges, they all started coming out the woodwork with stories about how they used to work with him and how he was violent and how he was aggressive and how they thought he was a sociopath. Oh no, Jonathan, not all these palm-colored folks that you neglect your own people to hang with and be friends with and be in love with, not them turning against you like that and going full-blown Karen and telling them folks that you have a history of this, Jonathan. It's not looking too good for you, because if if and when, if and how, if for some reason these charges do get dropped, it don't matter, because in the court of public opinion, my nigga, you've already been charged. It is what it is. Look how fast they flipped on you. Those text messages sound like somebody was standing over the girl, like, this is what you gonna send. Like, who would get, treated that way and then send these weird texts like, they told me you would not be charged. I told them it was my fault because I tried to grab the phone from you. Like, this is giving very much a setup. I think this lawyer is sitting here to make this even worse for you, Jonathan, because why would your lawyer release that? It 100% screams duress. It 100% screams force. And Jonathan, you're done, okay? Because as we all know, when it comes to Black men, you have one chance and one chance only. Now, I think we should finally get to this place where you understand who them people are and what it's going to be, understanding their privilege, understanding what this system really is, and stop being surprised. I'm to the point now, listen, baby, if you have so much to lose, if you're on such a good path and you risk it all for Becky, then you're on your own. I don't know what to tell you, okay? This is not rocket science at this point. Y'all let me know what you think in the comments. And now a word from our sponsor. So we are here in Lawrenceville, Georgia, and there is a new salon in town that I've gotten word is Black owned, honey. So we're about to go check it out and see what services get done today. So when I went inside, the customer service was impeccable. Very friendly. Everything was clean, girly. They even do like bridal shower and events. The makeup room is spectacular. She really just poured into my face, and she said that you can book online, you can call. As you can see, it came out incredible. I will definitely be back. You could not tell me nothing. They took such good care of me. I highly recommend. Y'all gotta check out the Beauty Lab in Lawrenceville.